Okay, so today I want to start with a little bit of basics when it comes to Headway 3.0. We're in the grid area of Headway 3.0 Visual Editor. What we've done is we've started the Visual Editor and we've gone to this first section, which is called the grid area. And as you can see, there are a few blocks that are already here automatically. We've got a header block, a navigation block, a content block, and a widget area. Those are there by default. The first thing I want to do is show you exactly how easy it is to resize these. It's as simple as resizing any window that you might have on your computer or whatever. As you can see, we just made that smaller. Then we can actually drag the navigation and make it the same size, which means we could pull this up so that it went the whole length. But it's just that easy to resize your blocks and move them around. Now, one thing that you will need to do is sometimes you'll move something around and because of the spacing and padding and the way that the individual block works, it won't exactly stay where you decided to put it because it just isn't, you're just not able to do that. So the way to figure out whether it's going to work for you or not is to hit that save button. And Headway has a pretty nifty little thing called show preview, and it will allow you to see. Now I'm looking at it and I can see that absolutely everything moved that I wanted moved. We've made our navigation smaller, we've got our header smaller, and our widgetized sidebar is up where I put it. But in some cases, it just won't do that, and if that's the case, it's probably because of the padding, padding settings and stuff that you might have on your individual blocks that you're using. And sometimes it will require you, let me go back to the grid, sometimes it will require you to line them up with other blocks. For example, you might have to make sure that it was lined up with this one or lined up on the same level as the navigation. I've run into that a couple of times on sites that I've been working with. But obviously in this case, this is a pretty blank site. I really don't have too much going on here. It's a demo site. So obviously you can see that when I saved that, it actually stayed up there. So it's just that easy to resize, move them around, switch where they're going to be. If it's not going to fit, you'll see they turn red, and that means, hey, I can't do that, they're overlapping and I can't do that, so you need to make it smaller and then move it until they turn blue, letting you know that, hey, that will work. I just want to check and see if we can get this to do what I was telling you about. We're going to hit that save button again here and save what we've done and show the preview again. And this is what I was talking about. As you can see, even though in our grid this was up here, the padding just isn't going to allow me to do that. So we'd go back to the grid and we'd pull it down here so that it was even with that content block. Save it again, and things should look a little bit better this time. See? So it's just what isn't possible for me to do what I wanted to do there because of padding issues, and that was what I was talking about. I wanted to kind of show you that can happen, and there are a few limitations like that. So always make sure that you do your preview and see if it's working the way that you want it to. As you know, that Headway 3.0 is still pretty new. They're still adding new things all the time. Things that were in the 2.0 version are yet to be pulled over. They're working on doing all of that. But until then, just know that you know, it's like anything. You are going to come up against some things that you're just not able to do without some CSS coding. So we've moved our blocks around, the blocks that are already on there, but what if we want an additional one? We only had, you know, these few blocks, and maybe we wanted an additional one. In fact, maybe we want a spot where we can put a sign-up form or an advertisement or something right up here next to the header. Well, it's easy as drawing your box, your block, and then as you can see, once that block's been drawn on the grid, you have a choice, and you can choose whether to make it a header, another navigation. Say you had built two menus in your dashboard. you might want to make it another navigation. You can have it be simply your breadcrumbs, content, widget area, footer, media, or custom CSS code or custom HTML code. So I'm going to choose to make that a widget area, but it's just that easy to add another block. And like I said, as we talked about in the previous clip, you might run into some padding issues, so you want to make sure that you save it and see that that area is going to show up the way that you wanted it to. But as you can see, it is. Here's my header, here's the widget area that I want to put a sign up form in, my sidebar, my content, and my navigation. Now we've added all of the blocks that we wanted on this landing page. We've got our header area, a couple of widget areas, our navigation, our content, and if you scroll down, our footer's there as well. But right now, our header just says demo site. So how do you add or change out your header? Well, it's really pretty easy. If you hover over here, this is the options for your block. And when you click on it, it automatically brings it up, and it'll allow you to click on choose image. And you can actually upload something from your computer that will end up being your header there. So maybe I can find a little something, I'm not sure. So let's just grab this one here and upload it and see what happens. I just want you to be able to see. It'll upload, and it will ask you, and you can say that you want to use the image. And as you can see, it loads it right up in there. And hit save. And once we've hit save, we're going to want to move our blocks around a little bit. And like I said, it's very, very simple. Let's just give us a little bit of space up there. Pop these down, pop this down, and we'll resize our header so that this is a little bit big. Probably not something that I would actually use as a header, but I just wanted to show you how easy it was to add an image to become your header. And just like you would hover over this to add your image or to customize it, you do the same thing with any of these. With your navigation, you actually have some different options. One of the really neat ones is the orientation. You can choose to have it left aligned, right aligned, or vertical, so that now it's very, very easy to make that vertical navigation down the side of your page. So all you have to do is kind of click this button. So as you can see in the grid area, there's a lot that you can do as far as the layout of your website. So this is all about getting those blocks in there and actually doing the layout, where you want those blocks to be, how you want that layout to look. Moving them around, playing around with them, like I said, testing it out and checking the preview to make sure that they're all going to fit and they're all going to line up the way that you want them to, and get that layout right before you actually go into the design process.